Hi, everyone, and welcome into another Wildcat Weekly Coaches Report here on the Linfield Sports Network. It is spring sports season, and that means it is cat ball season, and I'm here with head softball coach Jackson Vaughan. Coach Vaughan, congratulations on another terrific start to the season after, of course, a terrific 2019. You guys are off to what could be an even better 2020, going 10-0 so far through the season, a 54-run run differential, and currently third in the NFCA at top 25. What has impressed you so far through these first few weeks of the season from this team?
I think the biggest thing so far has just been pitching. We lost 90% of our innings pitched last year. We're two seniors, Tana Benson and Shelby Saylor. So there's a lot of question marks going into the year. Maddie Podner pitched some at the end of the year for us, but really didn't have any innings logged. And so we hoped that she'd be good. And then the rest of it was kind of a question mark depending on the incoming freshmen and some of our returners on who would step up. But that's kind of been the strength of our team in some ways. Certainly this last weekend it was, as we held Pacific to 3 runs total, I think, in the weekend. So certainly I've been really pleased with our pitching, and our defense has been good. And I thought we hit pretty well in California. I didn't think we hit great this weekend. So hopefully we can continue to improve that way and hit better this weekend in Arizona.
Yeah, well, taking a look at that pitching, obviously, you said 90% of the innings pitched last year. Shelby Saylor's all-time wins leader, all-time appearance leader, and Benson, of course, the senior as well. But Maddie Podnar has been terrific here through the first few weeks, here in her junior year now. And Jordan Bennett, the true freshman, out of nowhere. They have picked up the first 2 Northwest Conference Pitcher of the Week awards, and they've been looking absolutely terrific. Was there anything in the preseason that gave you a little bit more confidence about those 2 going in, or has this been mostly a surprise?
Maddie's been pretty good all preseason, so we felt pretty good about her. She's pretty unique as a left-hand pitcher, so she creates some problems. So we felt pretty confident Maddie would be successful, but still, she just hadn't pitched very many innings. So you're always wondering how she'll hold up and all those sorts of things. So she hasn't necessarily been a surprise. I think she's done hopefully what we thought she could do. But Jordan's probably been more of a surprise, just because she has just really improved a lot. Yeah. So she's improved a lot, from the time we saw her pitch the first time in the fall and continue to improve in the spring. And even in our last scrimmage, nobody had really separated themselves, I would say, as the number 2. Jordan was in the running, Eliza Rossman was in the running, Taya Kelly's in the running, Clarissa Wolf's in the running, kind of those 4. And they all pitched kind of the same a little bit in our last big scrimmage. So we went to California, and Jordan didn't start until, I think, Game 6 when we were down there against Laverne, and pitched extremely well. And then obviously we've been riding kind of hot hand since then, but we're still kind of interested to see how Taya and Clarissa and those guys will do, because they really haven't seen many innings yet, just because Maddie pitched a lot in California. Definitely. And then Jordan's pitched really well since we got back. So
yeah. Well, and you guys graduated some really influential seniors last year, obviously, with Benson and Sailors on the pitching end, but some big bats as well. But you've got 8 seniors on the roster this year, headlined by players like McKenna Kleiser, Chelsea Harita, Kelsey Wilkinson. These players returning from all conference, all regional selections. What are you looking for from the leadership out of your seniors in 2020?
I think more than anything, we just ask the seniors to lead by example. You can do a lot by talking, but everybody's going to just follow more what you do and how you practice and play the game. And so those guys have done a really good job, and certainly McKenna at shortstop and Chelsea at third have played a lot of games for us, and so they're everything's pretty comfortable for them, but at the same time they both do a really good job of really working hard to improve. And Kelsey does the same thing in the outfield, but even some of our, I would say, more unsung seniors, Brooke Snyder and Josie Newton and Clarissa, those guys do a really good job of working really hard, and sometimes they're not as prominent roles, but are still they bring it every day in practice and work really hard. And then we've been able to add Corey late after basketball season's over, so she's just practiced 4 times so far, but we're kind of hopefully getting her in the mix a little bit too.
Awesome. Well, it's a little bit of a break from the conference schedule this weekend. You guys have the NFCA Leadoff Classic going up against some of the other top programs in the country. What do you expect to see, and what are you hoping to see out of your squad here this weekend?
We're just hoping to see some good competition and just learn more about us as a team. I think that's what you're trying to find out as you go through a season is, what do you need to get better at, and how can you continue to improve to kind of hopefully peak at the end of the season. And we'll get tested for sure down there. We get to play some teams we've never gotten to play for. We've been doing this for 19, 20 years, but there's so many teams in Division III, there's teams we've never played before we get to play, so that's even exciting for me, kind of, to play a team like Barry, who's always been, this is kind of a newer program. I think they've had softball for maybe 10, 11 years, but has been pretty good. And so it's going to be fun to play them, and obviously getting to play Texas Lutheran again. And obviously Emory was in the national championship game last year. And so, just getting to play some of those programs and just see how you match up and see how your players respond to, just facing a pretty high level of competition. And I think it's really nothing, hopefully, too different, because I do think a lot of teams in the conference are very good. And so Pacific, has kind of been up and down a little bit, but they almost beat East Texas Baptist, to start the season. And ETBU is ranked probably 4th or 5th in the country. So I do think there's some, we get tested pretty heavy, especially in those 4-game series. Like they're long.
And
so,
back to back to back like
you got to
that.
be pretty mentally tough to stay in all weekend. So.
Definitely. Well, once again, the Cats are off to the NFCA Leadoff Classic this weekend before returning home to continue the Northwest Conference schedule here in McMinnville. Coach Vaughan, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.